FSB Pro Cup live Wednesday night at the bull ring known as Bristol Motorsports Raceway, whatever it's called. 120,000 flat people checking this baby out. We got 21 cars tonight, and this is like the Gladiator here, and how's he say there? Strength and honor tonight, and strength and honor qualifying. We got Robert Bokum up front, 15.548. We got 15s all the way down the line, all the way to 14th place. The star-studded Pro Cup field here. Kevin Lewis in second, qualifying the 81. This is a track he likes, and he's here to deal with these pros. Ken Shea in third in the 91, the Bumblebee. He's a stud, man, and he's a short track driver. The always fast Mark DeCenza in the number 6 car is fourth, and to round out the top 5, Troy Higgins in 19, as we are in happy hour. Pro Cup, and
all right,
they're testing the limits.
Yes, we are, and I'm really looking forward to this little bull ring here, Milty. 21 drivers. It's going to be full.
Blood and guts, strength and honor. And we got a point battle here for sure. We got
yeah, we do, Mil. Since you mentioned that, let me bring up the points here as I'll freeze the racing for a second. Let me scroll over here to the Pro Cup Series. There we go.
These are one of those tracks, just like a super speedway, where big things can happen and change the outcome of things.
Absolutely. This is a point shake-up type race. Matt Watkins is the leader, but this might be one of the tightest Pro Cups, Milty, in the last several seasons. I'm sure you can remember some of those point battles much better than myself, but only a 6-point lead over Robert Bokum and Rick Johnson, just 15 out. And then the next 3 are all separated by just 1 point. Mark DeCenza, Ryan Tracy, Derby Don. And only Derby Don, 6th place, but only 25 points out, Milty.
Yeah, all these guys got a shot still at the championship. The last time it was like this was probably about 6 seasons ago, about 3 years ago. We had Damien Gottstilla, we had Matt Watkins, Rick Johnson, and Brian Wagner were tied up in knots in the championship. And Damien Gottstilla did end up winning the championship, but the great Damien Gottstilla, and we got some great drivers here tonight, and this could be a wild card race here because it could be over in a flash.
Yeah, and as happy hour is winding down here, 20 seconds left in happy hour, we can see some of the guys running around the track here.
With 21 cars, not everybody's going to be pitting on the front row, I believe. On the front pit row.
Yeah,
excuse me.
That's a good point, Milty. And, pit lane here, too, Milty. Explain for the people. You actually go in to pit lane, Milty, turn 2, and then circle around the whole track, and then pit onto the front stretch if that's where your pit is. It's a very odd pit road.
Yeah, and the guys in the back will be pitting on the back stretch, so it's not really an advantage because you still got to come all the way around and exit back coming out of turn 1. What this does is it makes it very confusing, and you really you have your wits about you for where you're at. You got 35 mile an hour pit road speed, which is agonizing. If you're You know, if you make a mistake, it's huge. You can go 3 laps at least
Yeah,
down
yeah, absolutely.
with a pit road penalty. So
You,
you don't want to speed, and you don't want to hit those cones coming in.
no, not at all. And you need to keep the car as clean as possible as well. Tough to make repair stops here with the short pace of the pace laps. You might have to do one of those multiple pit stops just to get some stuff banged back out to keep you competitive. But we can see him gridding up right now, and there we see the front row of Robert Bokum, Kevin Lewis,
Drivers,
Ken Shea, Mark DeSenza in the second row. And there we get a good look at the 6-car Mark DeSenza. 81 of Kevin Lewis.
Ken Shea is going to be my pick for tonight, as I just spring that on you.
Yeah, it's hard to pick against K-Lou. It's really hard to pick against him. I know it's a less than even money pick, but
I gave you that, man.
I got to go with the 81 car.
Yeah, I picked him on the last race, so.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Robert Bokum would win either, though, Milty. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
The setup's very loose. You got to
as we
get his tires warmed up here. And boy, DeSenza gets loose right out the bat there. They're going to want to go single file here.
Yeah, they want you want to get single file as soon as possible. Start logging laps. 200 laps here, Milty. That is a long race. Even at these fast speeds, 200 laps is still a long race.
Rick Johnson starting in 14th place. I expect him to kind of just sit around a little bit and try to avoid trouble. He needs another good point. He rebounded really nicely last week after a couple of bad runs, and 4-time is looking for his 5th championship, so we can call him 5-time.
Yeah, and he's definitely a viable candidate still with a couple solid finishes. And, you know, a mishap from a leader, which can happen, especially at a track like Bristol, Milty. And Robert Bokum still leads. Kevin is looking racy, though, in second, Milty.
Yeah, first lap 16s.
We got
it out there.
We got a spin. We got a spin. 22 car of Ryan Tracy did a spin. I don't think anyone else was involved there, Milty. Yeah, caution is out. I think he dodged a bullet, though. He spun the car, but didn't take any severe damage, and I don't believe anyone hit him.
Well, you got to look at his track position now. If he's way in the back with the dog, so might be a good time to just go ahead and get 4 tires.
Yeah, I mean, you got nothing to lose if you're him. Get 4 tires.
Quick. You got to be decisive. You can't wait 1 lap because it'll be going green when you're coming out.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, some guys pitting on the backstretch. That is a disadvantage. So you even got to have a little more sense of urgency. And let's follow these guys in. There you see the 22 car. He's down on the apron. He's coming in. Along with the 16, the 46. Looks like that's the 63 also coming in, Milty. And
we got some coagulation there as they're stopping for the pace car there.
And there you see Dan pitting on the backstretch. He's the first car on the back.
Contact in the pits. Michael Scott gets into the back of T.G. Reese.
Oh, yeah.
And how is T.G. going to get back into his stall there? He might have to come back
Yeah, he might have to just... that's a mistake that might be a mistake by TG. You can't drive
up there.
You can't drive backwards, or you can get black flagged. Yeah, that's the right thing to do, and not lose the lap and just bite the bullet. It's a bad break for TG early on, but if he
Oh,
stays
this
on the
is
lead,
Bristol.
yeah, Robin's racing, and that's what happens here, even on the even on pit lane, Milty.
Yeah, and you can expect, of course, this is a sportsmanship-based league. There's no flaming and no back talk, and everything's handled in the forum, and the admins are watching it big time all the time.
Yeah, just a quick rewind here before we go back to green, and you can see, yeah, TG is trying to come in. He broke to kind of do a tight turn in, and the 46 car got him.
Yeah, and the good thing is, at low speed like that, no damage. He gets 4 tires, and he's back out. Easy there. Don't speed, son. Oh, boy, he was going awful fast coming out of pit road there.
Well, even if he gets a speeding penalty, ZOLL, he's already last place, so not a real big.
He was definitely speeding.
Not too terrible of an idea there, just to get back in the thick of things. You don't want the field getting green while you're still trying to get up to speed either, Milty.
69 miles an hour on pit road is NASCAR's not going to like that.
And as we go back to the front, we see the lights are off on the pace car. 18 leads the 81 and the 91 right now with the 6, 19, 4th and 5th. DeSenza and Troy Higgins, Milty, with holding his good qualifying position so far.
This is the original Bristol. We've tried, there's like 4 different, as we go green here, we've tried 4 different variations, and what has happened is we wanted to run the one that was more modern, but oh boy, the 5, Sean Johnson gets loose. But the problem is black flags and crashes. Guys were not being able to clear black flags with these other versions of Bristol. We had to go back to the original. It's the most as far as keeping track of what's going on and guys being able to get rid of black flags and not get black flags for no reason.
You know, Pops is a pretty good short track driver, Milty, but I saw him kind of struggling in practice here.
Well, when these guys are running 15.5s over and over again, of course, we haven't seen that now because they're trying to get a handle on it a little bit, and they're racing real close with cars. It really affects your because you don't have much vision, and you're sitting there. This thing is banked big time.
36 degree of banking in the corners and 16 on the straightaways. There we see the 52 of 4-time Rick Johnson. Matt Watkins following closely behind Matt. Not the greatest starting position, and of course he was staying out on that first caution, and yeah, he's just staying in line, logging laps. Good person to ride behind, Rick Johnson.
He knows what he wants to do, and what that is be in the top 5 with 50 to go, and then he'll try to get something done. Passing is hard. Really can't pass on the outside. You got to pass down low. So what you need to do is force your opponent to push up high, and then make a move on them, and stick your nose in there. You've got to be aggressive if you want to move up. But 2 incident rule, 2 inks, and you're out.
Yeah,
a lot at stake here.
Yeah, you got to really be careful. You don't want to pick up that first one so early in a race where you feel you have to like tiptoe the rest of the race here at Bristol. Because almost immediately that gets you in the wrong mindset, and then you almost find more trouble that way. But back at the front here, it's been pretty stable. The 18 and the 81 just driving laps. Ken Shea, Mark DeSenza just running, looks like practice laps almost. They're so smooth.
The Super Bee, Bumblebee, Ken Shea, what a stud on short tracks. He is really measuring himself here, which is, he usually knows one speed, and that's go fast. And
are you impressed
right
that
now,
he's just... yeah, you're impressed there. I think that he's content with just staying behind Kevin Lewis, not pressing him really at all. Mark DeCenza's keeping his distance for the most part, and they're just, I think, trying to settle in and get a green flag run going here.
Mark looks like he's trying to arc the corner a little bit, and you watch the corner, the center speed. What makes these pros so great is their ability to just get on the brakes a little, and then keep that center corner speed so high that it puts the weight down on the right front tire and really helps the car turn. Then you got 850 horsepower at your disposal there. You can really get loose. These tires wear. Right now they're in the sweet spot.
Right, yeah, they are in the sweet spot, and the guys that have the best handle on this track will really launch off these corners going down these short straightaways, Milty. Only 650-foot straightaways, Milty.
Yeah, it's right. It's like Darrell Waltrip said, it's basically 3 seconds, 3 seconds, 3 seconds, 3 seconds, 3 seconds. That's your 15 seconds. So you got 3 seconds on the straightaway, 3 seconds in the corner, 3 seconds on the other straightaway, 3 seconds in the corner, and 3 seconds on the other straightaway. That's 15.
Yeah, things happen quickly here, and when you're good, it's fun to drive. When you're not good, it's the exact opposite. You don't want to drive it anymore.
Yeah, you got to watch for the cars and see if they start to get tight coming out, and that feeling is just horrible of coming out. And this is precision driving, where you get right down on the line, and then you want to come out right off that line.
And Milty, we're just seeing nose-to-tail racing throughout the field, and these guys haven't really switched a lot of positions. There we see the 22 of Ryan Tracy, who had that first spin, and there's T.G. Reese bringing up the rear, and Dan Francisconi, who's a little now off the pace of the rest of the field. As we go back to the front, these guys are content right now to just let the car settle in. You don't see guys looking inside of anyone right now.
Oh, a little scrape by the 49 there. He's really putting the pressure on the 51 of Dave Jandry. And you just can't, right now, you don't want to, use the chrome horn, and you definitely don't want to get an ink. And
no, you don't. It's way too early for that.
And you can lay on a guy a little bit, but you got to do it at the right spot where you don't spin them. And right now, they're exactly just like you said. They're content because really the way to pass right now early here is to have good track position and wait for a guy to make a mistake. But Derby is definitely all over. But you're looking at this, the lap times at 15 seconds. I mean, right now in qualifying, the fastest lap is a 16:017. So nobody's in the 15s yet. That's a half a second slower than qualifying time, which, tells me these guys are measuring their tires. They know this is Pro Cup, and a green flag run looks like it could happen here, and your stuff will go away. It's the 88, Joe Cutter.
Joe Cutt went a little high there. Yeah, and 51 and everyone else is... and there's some contact, and Dave Jandry goes down onto the apron. Saved it, though, Milty.
Joe
saved it.
Loose again. The 88 is definitely really loose.
And that really but it also upset the rest of the field, Milty. It really... now you see the 52 of Rick Johnson is out on the high groove, and Matt Watkins looking to get underneath him, and he does complete the pass.
These are the opportunities you got to look for to move up.
And as we see this shot here, Milty, we can see that really did a major separation in the field as well. And
scrape the wall.
Yeah, Joe Cutt continuing
really pushing hard
to not be able to keep that car down. His tires probably going away just a bit more than another person. And here at Bristol, it's really magnified with those fast speeds.
Cosenza in the 15.9 area there, fastest lap of the race so far.
Yeah, which is really a slow lap for these pros, who we saw practice times in the 15.5s.
The deal is when you're following cars or you're being followed and you're trying to save a little bit of tire, and it really affects your lap time because it's a lot harder to see your braking and exit points because all you see is the rear end of that car in front of you.
Yeah, you can get mesmerized here real quick as the position change doesn't happen very often. And like you said, you find yourself staring at someone's bumper or rear tail, and all of a sudden you realize there's a turn coming up.
43 laps already in the books, and we had a lap, caution in the first 5 laps. And these guys can go,
Oh, plenty more laps they can go.
They can go to almost to the 100 mark, gas-wise, tire-wise. That's going to be a question,
Well, the top 4, Milty. What's your take on Kevin Lewis and Ken Shea? Just content on keeping the exact same position they started the race in, 44 laps later.
I think if they could pass, they would. Just Robert Bochum is all these guys if they're out in front, they're all so close in speed that they really can't make an aggressive move without taking each other out right now. And Pop scrapes the wall again.
Yeah, and we also
99 blue Scotch tape blue Ford is getting the Bristol stripe there, and Derby Dawn is caught up to him and taking a look.
Yeah, and Derby Dawn has caught this lead pack of cars led by the leader of the race, Robert Bochum, and now Derby Dawn's on the tail end of this lead line here of cars after that little out of shape incident that really jumbled the field up with Dave Jandry really getting the worst of it and losing multiple positions, getting down on the apron, but he was able to keep it off everyone and keep it going, which is not easy to do at Bristol.
Well, speaking of Dave Jandry and Budweiser, I'm out of beer, so I got to go get me a couple beers. I'll be right back.
And as Milty gets his refreshments, we're watching the leaders here. 81 Kevin Lewis in second, content on staying right behind the 18 of Robert Bochum. 91 of Ken Shea, and 6 of Mark DeCenza have been this way since the green flag of the race. As has the 19 of Troy Higgins and Sean Johnson. All these guys have really just have been in this position since the race started. They're very content right now on just logging some laps and looking forward to some green flag stops, I think, to see how that will stretch the field out. And guys might go lap down, and if you have a great stop, you can pick up some positions on pit road here. And
this is Bristol, man. Barbecue, beer. No rain, unless we have a rain out. The only rain outs we have in sim racing is if the server crashes. So
yeah,
we don't want that.
We can see some guys on that one speed shot there, Milty, are making some pit stops. Looked like I saw the 46 car going down pit lane.
Well, when you're not right here, you're not right, and those tires go away in a hurry. And along with some contact there he had with PG Reese there, his car might be struggling a little bit, and once you start to struggle at Bristol, it gets worse and worse. Thing is, when you pit under green, you lose 2 or 3 laps, and Robert Bochum up against the wall there. These guys are running on about 50 lap tires. This is when I was saying this is when you're going to start to see some moves or some bad moves as cars are going to start to struggle, and you're seeing that.
And, Robert is usually a very good conservator, as they say, of tires and fuel. I don't know if Kevin, how he felt about Kevin being behind him. If he pushed him a little further out of his comfort zone than he'd like to be driving right now. But, he's really coming really close to that wall on the straightaways.
looking at the fastest lap, Robert Bokum isn't even in the top 10, and he's leading the race. And Kevin Lewis is ninth. So what that tells you is these guys are former teammates, and they got track position. They don't have to push the car hard. They're not going anywhere. They're already there. So they understand that what they want to do is battle for the win at the end. And they're smart guys, and they have a lot of respect for each other, as all these drivers do. They're not going to do anything funky, as we're starting to see some spreadage with the field here.
Yeah, we are, and you can see I brought up the fastest lap box there, Milty, as they complete lap 60, or as they hit lap 62. See, Derby Don is fastest time right there, and like you said, the 18 is nowhere on the top 10.
Well, and Derby Don is just, like we were talking before the race, he has just become the complete driver. He's like in his fifth, sixth season now, and he's just really starting to hit his stride and his potential, competitive everywhere, like these top studs. And how about Ken Shea sitting there in third? I tell this story every time I tell it. Something seems to happen. I don't want to jinx the man. He even told me. Every time you tell this story, something bad happens to me. But I got to tell it. Short track driving has been my weak point, and so instead of just saying I quit and screw it, what I did was I sought out the best drivers in the league, and that was Robert Bokum, Josh Grove, Ken Shea, and I asked them to let's do practice sessions, and Kevin Lewis, and they all showed up and helped me. And but there was a Sportsman Cup race, and following Ken Shea in practice was just, a lot of times, you can practice by yourself, but when you get behind one of these guys and you really see what they do in every part of the corner, I was like, oh my gosh. And, my center corner speed was so slow, and I was trying to make it up on entry and exit, and the more you fight exit, the more you turn the car, the more you use the tires up. Try to brake too late, you use the car up. And to watch how he did that, he was out early in that race. I won the dang thing, and I never, even back in the day when there was only 8 of us, I couldn't win Bristol.
And there's some contact between Rick Johnson and the 83 of Steve Weber. Weber into the wall, keeps going, and I think we're stay green as well, Milty. But there was some Weber with some decent contact there. Sure, he's showing some damage.
I'm expecting the leaders to pit around 75 here. And we're at lap 71. If they pit at 75,
yeah, we'll stay back with the leaders here as we get
right around 150.
Yeah, we'll stay with the leaders here, Milty, as
they look really solid though
pit
right
road.
now.
Yeah, and the running order has again remained the same. Robert Bokum, Kevin Lewis, Ken Shea, Mark DeSenza, Troy Higgins. The top 5 has been unchanged since the start of the race, Milty.
How about Pops, man, the 99? Just a great guy. We call him Pops Martisan because his son used to run here. He's had a couple babies, and he's doing life right now. So and trying to make money, like we all do. That's one of the reasons I don't race as much as I can, because it's just hard, But he's always calling his dad Pops.
Looks like we have a caution out, Milty.
So now we all call him Pops.
Caution is out.
Looks like the 22 is on pit road.
And, unfortunately here at Bristol, we're going to stay with the leaders here and watch the leaders pit, because obviously they're ready to all come in.
Yeah, watch them, but the 22 is rolling. He's not at a pit stall. I think he's not under power. and he has had to get a tow back to his pit stall, and he is done. Let's see if we can see what happened to him while you watch the leaders pit here, because this is crucial, man.
Robert, Kevin, Ken Shea, and they all qualified up front, so they all have the 1, 2, and 3 pit stalls as well. So advantage again goes to the pole sitter with that number 1 pit stall. That's Robert Bokum.
35 miles an hour.
35
That's like driving in a parking lot after going 150, 160.
They're checking their tire wear, getting some notes for the next stop.
This is right on the bubble here where they can make one more stop.
You can see they're 18 and 81 in a dance here. Both left sides going up at almost the same time. Both left sides go down, and 1 and 2 leave the pit. Ken Shea third.
Ryan Tracy blew up. I'm watching right now. Somebody is on fire, and
Mark Desenza fourth, and Troy Higgins comes out fifth. So the top 5 remain the top 5.
He blew. Oh my gosh, he just blowed up. Oil on the rear tires, and he goes around, and that thing is silent. Coasts in the pit road. That's just how quick it happens. These cars are revving at $9,000 coming down the straightaway.
And we see that Den had some earlier issues. I don't know if he got in a scrape and the car just wouldn't handle anymore for him. But he's retired. But also, the 22 car is going to take a big hit in the points. Camshaft, Milty. Camshaft.
Yeah, it's, we had that Damian Gottstilla and me and Jim Ray and Brian Wagner were leading the 24 Hours of Le Mans, and we were a lap and a half ahead at the 12th hour, and we were in a roll, and that was about the 14th hour, I think, and camshaft. And another time we were leading the 24 Hours of Le Mans, and we had a clutch, and random failures, whatever. We didn't hit a thing. We didn't do nothing wrong, and that's part of racing. And back it up on the trailer and head out for next week.
Yeah, and as we look through the running order here, just the 46 car is the only car lap down, so we still have 18 cars on the lead lap, Milty.
Yeah, and you look at that trail here as we go green.
And as we go green, the 52 car is out ahead of the 18. So
yeah, we did not catch that.
And he's showing on the tail end of the lead lap, Milty.
They must have pitted right as the caution was.
Yeah, he must have got trapped by that caution, but he's out ahead of Robert Bokum, and you can see he's really pulled away.
Well, his total goal here, of course, we're watching. We see him at 15 seconds. I think sure that'll recycle and show. So that's definitely shows him on the tail end, the lead lap, and. The 46 is 3 laps down in front of him, so I don't think these guys are going to... Oh, and the 52 warps out, and he's having some internet issues here, and he keeps going, but boy, that looked ugly.
Yeah, it looks like he is doing a little... shaking there, but
that's the
looks
bunny
okay
hop
again.
And the pea patch.
Yeah,
Chick Hearn used to say.
Yeah,
you and I both
absolutely.
The Laker and Chick Hearn broadcasting.
Oh, and there's a car into the wall, Milty.
That's what Rick Johnson needs right now is a caution.
And he got it.
The 83 is just getting going. Looks like.
There was a car that went into the wall, Milty, and quickly disconnected or called for a tow. And
that would be Den in the 16.
No, that would be actually the 5 car, Milty, Sean Johnson.
Oh, my gosh.
And we'll take a look back here as Rick Johnson gets back all that time. Milty stays on the lead lap.
Well, now you expect the 52 to pit and get tires being in the back and fuel. He can't make it to the end, but he can definitely make it longer and try to make a strategy ploy here.
Yeah, and we see that Derby Don in the 5 car gave him just a little love tap there in the wrong place as they were getting in to the corner there. There's a little contact.
The 5's been instigator of contact, and this time he was the victim, and definitely not what Derby's probably as clean a guy as you'll see. But
yeah, and as you can dissect this just a quick bit here, Derby looks like he has the inside line as they go about their business, and he's on the yellow line, but you can see he bumped up just a bit off of the yellow line there and just got in the back quarter of Sean, and that sent him into the wall hard.
When you see it, also when you see a car coming and he's got that inside line, and you know it's going to be tough right there. Of course, easy for me to say, but you might want to drift up a little higher, but definitely, not his fault. That's one on Derby, so he's going to have to measure his rest of his race here.
Yeah, and Derby, he is a very sportsman.
And he has retired also.
Derby Don did retire there.
The 49 has retired, which that's only one on him. That's kind of surprising. That's another big point hit. We talked about how this race could really mix things up, and
yeah, that's too bad to see Derby Don there retired. And we also see that the 42 car Milty is now 3 laps down, so he must have had some issues as well. So now we have 2 cars 3 laps down that are still running, 42 and 46. And then 15 cars now remaining on the lead lap, so there's some attrition now starting to hit this field.
We got all kinds of stuff going on here. And we got double file restarts with the lap down cars on the bottom, so that's going to, if you got a good car, you're going to try to make, try to make hay while the sun shines. But
yeah, and the lights are off here, Milty. So we see following the 46 cars. Like you said, he's one of the lap down cars, but he's going all the way up to the front there.
Only thing I can think of is the 49 was so disgusted because he does not wreck people. Because that's very rare for him. Because he don't have 2 there, so he must have just felt so bad for getting into Sean that he felt like he's going to punish himself, which I've done that too,
Oh, and the 42 got a little high and almost got into the 18, but he held it down. And he takes the second spot on the track there with Kevin Lewis now looking to dig underneath him, and he gets a little squirrely as he tried to do it, Milty. This has got to be patience now, which Kalu and Ken Shea, this is where they're got to show their patience and let these guys make the mistakes like you were talking about, Milt.
Yeah, when you got a lap car down there, he's 3 laps down. He's got to be struggling. You can't dog.
Oh, and I hear some wrecking, Milt.
Oh, 53 is around the 83.
And yeah, we have
19.
Yeah, we have a caution here, and
the 151. They're all coming through there. We have to sort this out. This is Bristol. Strength and honor.
The 19.
The Lions are out, and they're on the chains, and they're just about to bite you.
Let's take a look at this real quick, Milty. Troy Higgins in the 15 of Matt Watkins.
And then excruciating slow speed here under caution.
And Troy got a little loose, tried to hold it down, and Matt had nowhere to go. And also the 151 of Guy Petra also involved, as is looks like the 303 of Ken Ron.
And now you have to be careful here because when these crashes happen right on the start finish line, it really screws up the running order. You got to get back in line, and you only got a half-mile track. You got to get back in line before you cross that start finish line. Otherwise, a whole slew of guys can get black flags, which is, part of the scoring nightmare. Even real NASCAR has trouble with this, and this game is very advanced and very good at this. But the bottom line is, if you don't get it straightened out by the time you cross that line, some dudes are getting black flags, and we'll have to see how it works out. Looking on the scanner, we are not seeing anything.
Yeah, it looks like we're looking at the standings here too. It doesn't look like anyone's in a weird spot that looks to be trapped or anything. Looks like we got 15 cars remaining on the lead lap. Now the 42 and 46 did get a lap back there, Milty, so they're just 2 laps down.
Yeah, and that's what you want to do, especially if you got a good car. The leaders have not pitted yet. What are they going to do?
No, it looks like
they got 20 some odd laps on there. Like we talked before, with like 20 laps, you might want to just stay out.
Yeah, it looks like
going to be more cautious. You're still in the window where you still got to pit one more time.
Looks like only 5 cars pitted. 52 of Rick Johnson, 53. 151 of Guy Petra, and the 06 and the 83 who were all involved in that last scrape there, so no surprise that they would do it, especially you can burn up a tire locking them down here trying to avoid some mess.
Yeah, and 4-time knows that the cars behind him are damaged or have more trouble than him, so getting 4 tires and fuel now, that's him in a different fuel window, and he won't lose any or much track position.
Absolutely, and it looks like there's been a few cautions here, so there's basically half a race left as they complete lap 98 of 200. Lights are out on the pace car, so we're going to go green at lap 99. So basically we're at the halfway point of the race, so it's still a lot of racing left to do.
Yeah, we have some cautions here, but you look at this pro field, you look at this racing, coming from the bottom up, starting this game and starting at the beginning of the league with Jim Ray and Dan Smith. And the first track we picked was this track that when we loaded the game up, and we couldn't even make a lap. And we knew we had some work to do. And to see the league evolve to this point is quite impressive. And 46 looking to try to get another one back. Why not? He loves short track racing.
Yeah,
he's been around this stuff his whole life and been a spotter and knows Chase Elliott and Joanna Long and spotted for a couple on trucks and stuff. This is his gig, and he's going to fight the good fight here.
Yeah, and we see him holding his own right now between the 18 and the 81. Kevin Lewis is content now to follow the 46 and see where the chips fall after a few more laps.
Well, Bolcom's thinking, if we get a caution here, I'm going to let this guy by and get him out of my hair. I don't want him wrecking me, I'm leading the race. The other guys are thinking, I don't want Robert to get too far ahead, but
exactly.
Still got a long way to go, only at the halfway point, so.
Yeah,
and giving laps back is an art form. You got to be real careful, but at the same time, 46 has got a good car, undamaged. The only contact he had was that little bump with TG in the pits. Not sure if that's considered a incident or not. Didn't bring the caution out. He's pushing it, man.
Yeah, he's really pushing it. You can see he's pushing.
Car there.
Yeah,
boy.
He's pushing up just slightly in the corners, kind of diamonding them now. But boy, he's getting a good run off. And Kevin Lewis.
You're a lucky dog, so you ain't here to,
Yeah, no lucky dog. He's going to have to get past the 18 car.
Fight.
And when you tell someone that you passed the 18 car in a race under green flag conditions, it's an impressive thing to tell someone, because the 18 doesn't usually lose positions.
See the gap there between Matt Watkins. Haven't said much about him. he missed the contact there. He was back in that melee when cars were going around, and he's worked himself into the top 5.
Yeah.
He's looking for a good finish. After last week, I believe it wasn't so good. Of course, I get confused. You might have to help me on that a little bit.
Yeah, he wasn't. He had some issues last week. But he won the nationwide race a little earlier tonight, Milty. So he's bringing us some confidence into this
Rick
race.
Johnson, he makes the pass on 4-time, makes the pass on Joe Cutter.
And he's now working on the 19 of Troy Higgins there. Troy had a pretty good run here. He did have some contact a little earlier. But the car looks good, but Rick Johnson's looking really good.
Off the wall. Troy Higgins scrapes the wall there. But I just love the way this guy drives.
And
he just it's smart all the time. He's always in the top 10. And, this time he got beat, and he does the right thing.
And he bounces off the wall again.
That's gonna leave a mark.
Yeah, that one will definitely leave a mark. And you can see guys kind of taking evasive action sometimes too, and can stack up the field behind them. But they all,
and that's what Bristol is too.
I think he brushed
outside. This is old Bristol, so there's no mega banking up on the top. You lose, you get up in that high line. You're the meat, and the rest of them are the dogs.
And we can see the 303 and the 51 are getting a little gun shy here behind the 19. Every time he comes off a turn, he's clipping the wall, and they don't know to take evasive action or try to duck underneath him.
And that's what happens, man. I mean, you could run 100 laps and just be tight, and then all of a sudden it just falls apart, and you're like, I used to know how to drive this track. What happened? That's how quick Bristol is just a monster, man.
Yeah, and we go back to the front, Milty, and the 46 car is still holding that second slot behind Robert Bokum. He's 2 laps down right now, looking to go 1 lap down if he could get by Robert Bokum, but he's holding his own very nicely.
Yeah, Troy Higgins is going backwards, and boy, that's he's got damage, and the more you hit that wall and damage that right front,
the slower you're gonna go.
The slower you go, and the less that car's gonna turn. And boy, he's got Webb right underneath him there. Oh boy!
And if you're Kevin Lewis right now, Milty, and the 46 is doing what he's doing, are you content with sitting basically third, even though you're showing second in the running order? Are you content?
Well, you'd like for him to go away, but he's got too strong of a car, so he's not going to do anything stupid because he knows Robert's right there. And
or is this the case?
This was the end of the race. Troy Higgins is pulling into pit road.
Yeah, he's going to have to get that thing surfaced. And look who's caught this front leading pack is the 52 of Rick Johnson. Someone's lit a fire underneath that car.
He's a second-half racer, man.
Man, this car came on strong.
He's not a 4-time champion for nothing, and it's all about where you end at the end of the race. And the 19, let's see what the 19 does.
He's going to have some long bang-out session there if he does it.
He might be parking it because you just don't want to do this. No, let's see what happens here. He's getting tires. Getting 4 tires.
Yeah, well, and away he goes.
I don't know if he had damage turned off there. You can get some damage here and still run decent, but pitting like that is going to put him at least a lap down, maybe 2.
And right behind Kevin Lewis, Milty, is the 42. And then the 91 right behind him. So another lap down car in between the second and third place cars. So if you're Ken Shea, you're really running 5th in the running order. And look at the patience Ken Shea is showing. He's not pushing the issue at all, Milty. Or is it just because the other 4 cars ahead of him are just that fast?
Well, Ken Shea has won many short track victories, especially in the late models and Wheeling, and I think over time he's matured his driving, and I'm seeing really an impressive run here from the 91, knowing that he's right in contention. He sees the cars right in front of him, and let's let this thing play out. We got a really good car, and eventually these lap cars are down a lap for a reason. Eventually we're going to get by them, or the caution is going to come out, and we're going to still have our track position. They're racing towards that final stop as Mark DeCenza gets sideways like a sidewinder in the Arizona desert. And no harm, no foul. That guy can drive, boy. Mark DeCenza's another car, but you do see him. He seems to be a little looser than the 91 behind. Don't know if he's struggling a little bit with his tires. It's amazing how you can you can run the good off these things as the 42 hits the wall there. Scott's driving his ass off trying to get his lap back. But
the 52 and the 15 just swapped positions as well. Look, almost like Matt Watkins gave him the position. Maybe Matt Watkins are recognizing the 52, the faster car right now.
Exactly, and Matt's one of the greatest drivers that's ever raced here. But if you got to say that Matt has a weak spot, which he doesn't, but if you say he's the track he's not the greatest at, it would have to be this one and Martinsville. So he's definitely looking at that smart racing, and he has kind of touched the wall a little bit. He looks like he's fading back.
But what also factors into a decision like that is how Rick Johnson benefits from it, really, Milty, because he doesn't have to race someone hard for 5 or 10 laps as they battle for that one position. Now it's been given to him. He can save his equipment and now work on the next guy. That's a big help for Rick Johnson too. But that's sportsmanship racing.
Yeah, and these guys know each other, and they know what It's not rocket science. When a guy comes from nowhere and catches you and he's on your ass, he's probably the faster car. So, why be stupid and take each other out? And especially at this point of the race, you're not racing for the win at this lap. So, and he is all over the 6 car.
He sure is, and we'll see here as they almost touch bumpers there. Rick had to probably get on the brakes there a little, and that kills of course.
Rick likes to race like I do, and that is, he likes to come from nowhere, and he likes to not show his stuff in practice or qualifying, and show it in the race, and he
closed right back up on him too, Milton.
Racing Rick for years. Rick brings an extra thing when it's race time. There's, like my dad used to say, racing for Porsche, the lead driver, Alan Johnson, was always a great qualifier, but in the race, there was that little extra adrenaline. You see Rick Johnson get sideways.
Hanging that car out sideways.
And Rick Johnson is one of those guys that brings you everything when it's race time. And you're like, holy cow, he didn't do that in practice, but here he comes.
And here we can see Robert Bocum now, though, Milty, is trying to do a breakaway from the field here.
Well, why not? He's got a lap car, which is running. Mike Scott is running really good here. I think Robert's just running his laps, and I think maybe the 46 is, I don't know, he's right there.
And something happened with the 15 car, Milty, as he's in danger now going a lap down.
I think that car just really went away on him. He may have hit the wall somewhere. I saw him scrape it once.
Wow, so Matt Watkins, who was in that top 5-6 pack, is now just a couple of cars from going a lap down, as we can see in this shot here. As they
goes by Bill Farmer right there.
He's trying to put some bodies in front of the leaders
Matt's
now.
2 laps down. Well, where did we miss that? Why is the 15 2 laps down? Did he warp out?
Well,
somewhere?
maybe he just went into the pits. You do probably go 2 laps down here when you do make green flag stop. So yeah, let's hope he just pitted and just getting back up to speed. But like you said, maybe the car went away and he did an early pit stop. But he knows he can go the rest of the way, Milty, as we're just 54 laps from the completion of the race.
Well, he's hoping this thing stays green.
Absolutely.
I was thinking around 150 was when the leaders were going to pit. So we're getting... The laps are clicking down. We're at 143, so...
And now we can see that those lap cars did work their way out of the top cars, Milty, and the 18 and the 81 are back together again. But now Robert Bochum has something new for the first time tonight, and that's a lap traffic that he's going to have to work through.
Well, that was a great fight by the 46 there, man.
Yeah, it was.
They got some sponsorship time there, and he's a kick in the ass, man. And but he gave it everything he had there, and if he'd have got a caution there, that would have definitely helped him. But
let's not forget there, the 42 car, who's also the same situation as he was in, is right behind Kevin Lewis, so he hasn't really lost any track position with the leader. He's still in contact with him.
Really starting to see him spread out, except for the first 3 cars. Ken Shea's like a half a second behind there.
Yeah, he's looking good. He's, again, Milty, he's really driving a very professional race so far. I mean, he hasn't pressured anyone. He hasn't gotten to the back of anyone. He's held his same 3rd position since the lap 1. And here we are, lap 150, and he's still in 3rd, and he's still in contact with the leaders.
Rick Johnson. Oh, Ken Ron scrapes the wall just a little bit there. The tires are gone here.
Yeah, tires are starting to go away.
Fuel-wise, they could probably go to like 175, but really, you gotta look at that. Pretty soon, you gotta stop. I mean, but they don't want to. Michael Scott is in.
And guys are bumping the wall ahead of the leaders, trying to stay out ahead of Robert Bochum.
The car gets tighter and tighter and tighter.
The 6 car there brushed the wall. 06 car of Bill Farmer brushed the wall there. And there we see Joe Cutt and some other guys that are scrambling to stay ahead of the leaders here, ahead of this pit stop that they know is coming. And, of course, the strategy here, Milt, is if you do get passed by the leaders, you need to go into the pits as quickly as possible. And there we see the 88 of Joe Cutt in the pits.
Johnson's having some warping problems, and he was right on Ken Shea's ass, and all of a sudden he's almost 2 seconds down, about 0.80 down. He might have hit the wall or something there, because he's all of a sudden he lost some space between him and because he was coming for the 91 there.
Yeah, and there we see him getting back up to speed, and
nothing on the scanner yet. Nobody is reporting pit. It's very hard to hit that pit button here. You don't have much time on the straightaway. You might see some of these guys struggle with trying to hit the pit button, unless they hit it like the lap before.
Yeah, you might see some guys all of a sudden diving down on the pit road, surprising some people. But
I think Bochum and Kevin Lewis are going to run it out. Because and Scott hits the wall there. Scott Tracy. You see these cars going away.
Yeah.
And these guys, you don't want a green flag pit in P1 and P2, and then have the caution come out.
Yeah, absolutely. But there comes a point here where one of these two is going to have to make that pit decision. And remember, Milty, old tires and new tires, there's a significant speed difference.
Exactly. Pops Parkinson on pit road exiting. Oh, he's just coming in right now. PG Reese has fought his way. He was way in the back with the dogs. He's up to sixth place.
Yeah, and we could see
Great run for TG.
Kevin. And there, Robert Bokum going into the pits, Milty, as is the 52 car of Rick Johnson.
52,
18 and 52 are in.
The scanner is slinging here.
And there we see the 18 car, Robert Bokum, followed by the 52, Rick Johnson, both coming together.
81. Boy, that's a hard pit road there.
Yeah, I have to think the 81 is going to quickly follow him if he's not already in.
Yeah, they're both in. What's the 91 going to do? Now he's like, if I stay out, I'm losing time every second.
There we see the 81 car is in.
They're all in together.
And 91 right behind the 81. So all the leaders have come in within one lap of each other. And you see the 81 passing the 52 of Rick Johnson as he finishes up his service all the way down to the end as Robert Bokum leaves the pits and the 52 leaves. So the 52 car
stop for the Super B, Ken Shea in the Dodge.
And there we see the 81 is away. And there we see the 91 away. 91 looks to be a little slow there in the pits. Maybe had a lug nut issue.
Rick Johnson coming up and makes the pass. That's one lap less. Pitting, but not yet. Oh, no. Ken Shea says, I don't think so. You're not going to out-manhandle a car with the 91. I guarantee it. That guy can drive, man.
And as we let these cars cycle through their pit green flag stops here, Milty, let's see who's going to come out on top. The 91 and the 52 nose to tail, following the 83 car, who's, I think, showing 2 laps down. Only 2 cars showing on the lead lap currently, the 53 and the 6, who have stayed out so far, Milty. And the 91 gets hugely loose there. Wow, Ken got really loose.
He was hoping for a caution and to get track position. And now 2-3 laps.
Yeah, now we see a bunch of guys back onto the lead lap here as the final guys make their pit stops.
As everybody goes by,
now we see the 15 car leading, Milty. The 15 who took that early pit stop is now in second place. The 42 car out in front. And now Matt Watkins is showing out in front as we go to lap 171 and 200.
Oh, boy. Got the 83 in front of him, and he is...
Yeah, there's some crazy battling going on.
Against the wall.
And went a little warp at the same time. There's some crazy stuff going on here at Bristol, Milty.
This is Bristol, and
both the 91 and the 52 safely make it by the 83, and they continue on. And there we see the 18 of Robert Bokum working his way.
Guy picture 2 laps down.
This is a crazy running order right now. Matt Watkins is the leader, followed by the 81 of Kevin Lewis and the 42 of... help me out, Milty.
That's Scott Tracy. Oh, and Joe Cutter taking a look down low, and boy, he got pinched off there. And then Scott lets him by there.
Yeah, and he completes the...
Yeah,
but Joe Cutt showing 1 lap down, Milty in 10th. So that was not a position battle, per se.
Well, the 15, he's done this with track position and pitting early.
There we see some crazy. There's some craziness going on up front here with the 15 to 81, and Pops in the 99 looking racy.
He needs a caution. The 15 needs a caution right now or pretty quick because the
81's coming.
It's go time now. So.
And of course the 15 on much older tires than the 81, Milty, but it's going to be hard to pass Matt Watkins if he keeps that low line.
As far as we know, I think the 81 is a free agent right now.
I don't think so, Milty.
Or is he a monsoon driver?
I think he's still a monsoony. I believe so. Don't quote me on it, but I believe so. And
we're definitely going to be looking at.
Yeah, and you can see Kevin Lewis getting a little loose there as they come off the turn and onto the straightaway. 99 of Pops is lapped down, but he's really racy right behind the 81, as is the 6 of Mark DeSenza, who is also showing a lap down in 9th. Pops must be multiple laps down because he's not showing in the top 10 right now.
Well, 20 to go here.
The 15 and the 81.
Matt can make it on fuel, but tires.
What great strategy, though, Milty. What about the strategy, though?
That's Matt Watkins, man.
I mean, come on. We were like, oh, he's 2 laps down. He's, he needs it to go green.
Yeah,
he needs everything to work right for him.
What happened to Matt? Yeah.
And then here he is leading the race and holding Kevin Lewis off at a decent clip right now.
Oh, we got a wreck. This is what Matt Watkins wanted. We still got cars crashing.
Yeah, it looks like the 42 might have got caught up in that.
Well, what do you do now? I mean, Matt's got track position. Kevin Lewis is going to... What are they going to do? Are they going to come and get 2 tires while Matt gets 4? Or are they going to stay out?
I think they're all going to stay out, Milty, and Matt Watkins is going to be forced to go in. Now, there's only 7 cars on the lead lap, Milty. So if I'm Matt Watkins...
what do you do?
I probably take 2 right sides to see,
Well, if there's only 7 cars on the lead lap, you might as well get 4 or stay out.
Well, and you're also thinking probably if I'm not in the top 3, I'm probably staying out. So if I go in as Matt Watkins, I think the rest of the guys that are on the end of the lead lap,
they're going to pit too.
They're going to pit too, so I can lead all of them out. So I might come out in 4th or 5th. And with fresh tires and 20 laps, I think I could make some headway.
Yeah, he's got to get 4.
Yeah, if I'm at Watkins, I'm taking 4 now that I talked myself out of the 2-tire idea.
Yeah, but what do I know? I would have been way in the back with the dogs if I was running.
Yeah, with just 7 cars on the lead lap, it makes my decision a little less painful. If there was 20 cars on the lead lap right now, I'd be cringing if I was Matt Watkins.
Now, if you're Kevin Lewis and Robert,
you're staying out.
Ken Shea,
you're all staying out.
Okay, but let's say if you're Rick Johnson, maybe you go in and get Jandry or the 6, you go in and get 2.
Well, it looks like
position, you have better tires.
Yeah, Milty, and looking at this field right now, everyone but the 15 and the 81 have pitted.
Pops is pitting.
15 and 81 have stayed out, Milt.
So they're all running around. 52 pitted. What did they get? We missed that, but let's see what the 52 did. Well, 52 didn't pit. Oh, he just moved up on track position there.
Yeah, we got right now the 15 showing in the lead, 81. The 18 of Robert Bokum 3rd. 91 of Ken Shea 4th. And the 52 of Rick Johnson in 5th. Last 2 cars on the lead lap are the 6 of Mark DeSenza and 51 of Dave Jandry, and that's it. And
why not? You got P1. They got
lights
to get
are
around
out.
You. We could have more cautions.
Well, there's only 13 laps
13
left.
Laps? Yeah, might as well stay out.
Yeah, then Matt selected to stay out. Now, Matt has much older tires than Kevin Lewis. And, of course, now,
lap cars, too.
Absolutely. So this will be very interesting.
10 lap rule is not in effect.
No, there's 13. 13 laps remaining.
10 laps to go. The lappers have to go to the back and right through the pits. But
Matt got a great start there, and There's
He's
mayhem behind him.
he's the fastest guy with that wheel. Oh, and he gets loose on the inside.
He did get loose. Oh, and Robert Bokum gets loose as well as he gets back up, and we stay green, and Ken Shea took advantage of that bobble by Robert Bokum.
The 6 just down on the apron. The 303 on the apron. These guys are going for it. The 46 gets loose in front of the 52, and we got a wreck. The 53, the 19 get into it.
They're still showing green here, though, Milty, as we keep an eye on the leaders.
Tough luck for Rick Johnson. Dadgum. 51 on pit road.
Well,
I don't think he meant to do that. I think he got forced in there.
Yeah, and as the race stays green, Robert Bokum is driving the wheels off of his car.
Road.
Almost has contact with the 91 of Ken Shea as the top 4 run nose to tail.
Smoke everywhere. Pace car is still parked. Oh, that's a huge.
It looked like caution was out there for a second. Let me make.
Huge.
Yes, caution is out. Caution is out.
Oh, and now the 88 is around. The 52 comes back on the track.
The leaders
past the pace car. The pace car is out.
The leaders have taken the caution. Matt Watkins has successfully took the caution, but 7 laps to go. We're gonna have a restart, I think, Milty.
Yeah, I gotta step away for a sec. I'll be right back.
And some crazy racing there. The 15, the 81, the 91, and the 18 just nose to tail there. You see just a half a second separating the top 4 with now 6 laps remaining. We'll see if we can get this thing restarted. Bad luck for Rick Johnson there, though, with the 52 car. Yeah, and there we got a rewound there for Rick. There you see he was just following the cars in, and looks like he was having. Yeah, he's been having. And the 46 got loose ahead of him, and really he had nowhere to go. And then got tapped by the 42 to send him into the inside wall. Pretty hard contact by Rick Johnson, but he kept it straight after that and kept going. And then the caution did come out, so he did get saved there, I believe, and stayed on the lead lap.
Yeah, I mean, he locked all 4 tires up there, and then got spun around, got hard contact in the wall there, but his track position is so good, there's no sense in going in now. He's got what he's got. He's going to try to salvage the top 5 out of this, and that's good points for him.
Yes, that's points that he needed badly. Matt Watkins continues to lead with 4 laps remaining, so we're going to keep an eye on this.
The points leader came out of nowhere. It's just the greatness of Matt Watkins. We talk about these guys a lot, Matt and Robert, and don't be a hater. Respect the skill and the brains. These guys got to be driver. They got to be pit crew. They got to be Chad in the box. They got to figure all this stuff out in a split second, and this guy just knows how to win. And he ain't won it yet because Kevin Lewis is definitely, we're going to go green here. But I look for Matt Watkins, man. This guy, when it comes down to it, his teeth are going to be gritted, and he's so quick on the wheel, he's going to go balls out or die, So good luck.
And we see the pace car off. Matt Watkins is going to lead him down, Milty. 3-lap dash for cash. And 15 off to a great start really pulled away from the 81, 91, and the 18. As we have 2 laps to go here. Oh, and Ken Shea gets loose. Held on to it.
Contact? I don't think so. I think he just got loose.
Yeah, I think he just got loose there, and
Robert into the wall. These guys are going, what happened, you know?
And Robert pressuring Kevin Lewis here. And there's a car down on the inside wall there as they go by him.
For it here. And he will not get there. It's Matt Watkins. Wow.
Matt Watkins.
And Robert gets, and 91 gets back by Robert.
But not until after the checkers.
Ah, okay.
And the 52 of Rick Johnson brought it home in 5th. So those are the only 5 cars on the lead. Matt Watkins, he pitted early, Milty.
There's a love tap.
Yeah, I got the love tap from Kevin Lewis.
These guys have huge respect for each other.
That might be one
Kevin knows. Kevin strategizes this stuff down to the science, and he knows that Matt just pulled one out of the hat.
Yeah, and that might be one of Matt Watkins' sweeter victories lately, knowing that he bested Ken Shea and Robert Bochum and Kevin Lewis.
No doubt. Well, I mean, I've seen him beat me twice in Pro Cup at Dover with 1 lap to go, passed me on the outside, and this guy just knows how to get to the finish when it's go time, and he knows how to do a burnout. Look at that burnout. Yeah, get some.
Yeah, he got some, all right. So 5 cars on the lead lap, as we said, Milty. Watkins, Lewis, Balcom, Ken Shea, and Rick Johnson round out the top 5, and the 5 cars on the lead lap. And then TG, Troy Higgins, and Joe Cutt 1 lap down, 6th through 8th. And then rounding out the top 10 were Scott Tracy in the 42 and Steve Webb in the 83. 2 laps down. So this was a war tonight.
Well, no less expected from Bristol. This young man has just got character, got skill. He helps tons of us out, especially me, a lot on the phone. One of the main guys that got me back online with my limited resources. Hooked me up with a cheap computer, spent a lot of time helping me hook up stuff, a lot of patience, a lot to all these guys behind just winning races, and you know, that's the great part of being in this league. And we got time to drag these guys up?
Yeah, we probably have a minute to get a quick word with them. And on the downside of this race, Milty, Ryan Tracy, Sean Johnson, Derby Don, and Mark DeSenza, all guys that needed good point finishes, are really going to take a hit here as they finish 17th through 20th, respectively.
Well, they made us, for their misfortune, they made us look smart, because we did talk about this track as being like a, super speedway where a lot of intangibles could take you out, and close quarters, hard racing. There was comers and goers, and so they'll have to regroup. Still a long way left in the season here, so this thing ain't over, but Matt Watkins pads his lead. Let me go find these boys and see what's up here.
Yeah, and as Milty goes hunting for some interviews. So as we said, some of the guys that were up in the points really took a hit here, as they had to retire early in this race, and that cost them some points there. And middle of the field, rounding out after the top 10 there, Steve Weber finishing in 10th, Ken Ron 11th, Guy Petra 12th. Bill Farmer in the '06 brought it home 13th, and Michael Scott, who had a great battle up there as he was laps down, staying right behind Robert Bokum and actually getting right in on him a couple of times, looking to get that lap back, and he brought it home in 14th. So he battled it all the way, even though he was down. So that's what you like to see. Who'd you got here for us, Milt?
Well, we got your winner, Matt Watkins, with great strategy. Matt, pitted early there. We saw you struggling. Of course, we obviously shows how much we know, but we really thought you were done there. And great track position and great strategy is just an awesome win. And man, those restarts, you really got her going, man.
Yeah, did not have anywhere near the fastest car by any means, that's for sure. That one wreck happened, the 19 spun in front of me. I flattened my tires and stayed out. And then as more as longer went green, the tires were gone. So I just figured, see what happens. I didn't really have anything to lose either way. And it worked out. Kevin did a really nice job working with me there, helping me out too. So good team effort, 1-2 finish. And yeah, worked out.
Yeah, we obviously if the caution would have came out, you'd have been screwed. But you foresaw that, and we had one long green flag run at the beginning there, and that one turned out to be another nice long run, and just awesome track position, and you still had some tires under you, and you drove it home. Great job. Kalu, man, it looked like you and Robert were going to finish this thing off, but that's why we run the races, huh? What were you thinking there?
Yeah, I don't know. Pretty crazy how that turned out. It's pretty funny how me and Matt ended up side by side coming out of the pits, because I knew Matt pit way early, but I had no idea where he was going to come out. I was more watching Robert, and kind of wanted to pit a few laps before Robert, but then we had a lap car between us, and then I just started really saving my stuff and decided I was going to get 2 tires. I figured that was the only way I was going to beat Robert, and I had no idea where Matt was going to end up there. But then if it stayed green, I thought we were in good shape, but then that caution came out. I didn't know.
You were really closing on Matt. I think you'd have been able to make the pass there. That's what I was saying in the broadcast. But with the caution, it gave him some leeway there, and great on those restarts. It's hard to get going there in second. The leader has a huge advantage on the restarts, or was it just Matt really nailing those?
Well, Matt got a good start the last stop, and I was sleeping a little bit, but yeah, you got to take off in second gear, so the car takes off really slow, so you don't get if you're not on the gas, you get a pretty bad start. But yeah, Matt just got a good start the last stop, but yeah, we didn't know what was going to happen that last. It's pretty much we were just trying to get a 1-2 finish after that, and worked out. But,
Yeah, early on in the race, Kevin, with when you were following Robert, were you just content to stay there, or were you looking for an opportunity that he was just the faster car?
really wasn't no opportunity if Robert didn't make a mistake, because I could challenge him, but if I didn't get a run in like 5 laps, I'd overheat my tires and have to back off. So, and then I figured if we have a caution, Robert was going to be back in front of me anyway, because he had the first stall. So pretty much just we got that green flag stop and try to get him there, but then he pit before me, so that didn't work. So
well, Ken Shea was right there with you guys all night, and Robert, they talk about that pass you made there at the end there. Nice clean pass. Ken really showed restraint there along with you guys, just riding along and waiting for the end there. But what happened for you to be able to get by Ken there at the end?
Well, I forget what started. he got by. I think it was when we started running. I didn't know. I didn't see that they took 2 tires until we started going. So I started trying to really pick it up. And I started catching, but then the caution come out. So I figured, okay, I'll be good now, you know. And then Kevin come off. I forgot what his turn it was, and he got sideways, and I was either gonna hit him or turn away from him. When I turned away from him, it turned me real sideways. And Ken went around me. Well, then I run him back down, and right when I got under him, he disappeared. And it's probably the only thing that saved us from wrecking is him disappearing.
Yeah, he was blinking a few
and then,
times.
like I said, he come back. He was running real hard, and with their tires, they were just a lot slower through the corners. And he bound his car up real bad and tried to turn it back under Kevin real quick, and he got sideways, and I was able to pass him on the outside. So it was a good race. Like I said, I wish the 4 tire, like I said, I wish the caution wouldn't have come out in the way that last deal. I like to have those last few laps to see, but it was a good run. But I want to say hi to my wife and daughter there in Florida on spring break. I'm still here working, but they're taking the time to listen to me and watch the race. So I appreciate that. So
No
I
problem.
love them, but I love them a lot. I appreciate them watching. Not many siblings would take time to do that, so it shows you how much they care, and I appreciate that. But good win, Matt. Good run, Kevin. Like Kevin said, we were just so even. Kevin kind of, when Kevin gets lead, I kind of just ride behind him, wait for the never-ending mistake he never makes, and I guess he kind of was doing the same tonight, but just kind of didn't get the good deal on it. But it's a good win. It was fun, man. That was some racing right there. That first long green, my freaking hands were sweating and everything.
Yeah, the fans are going to love this broadcast there. So, Matt, what do you got to say, man? You're leading the points. What's your plan on the future here? Just keep fighting the good fight?
Yeah, hopefully get a few more wins for that chase starts. It's weird. There's a couple races this year. It's pretty fast and got away from me, whether it's cautions or whatever else. So it was pretty cool to finally steal one. Definitely not being remotely close to being the fastest car, but appreciate Kevin again working with me there. That really helped me win the race pretty much, and he did a nice job all night. And Robert was fast the whole night, one of the fastest cars, and just strategy had a weird way of working out, I guess.
Well, we're looking at the points here, and now Matt Watkins only 6 points behind ahead of Robert and Rick Johnson in third there. It's going to be a battle.
I don't know if that's necessarily updated, Milty, but that was as of last week. But we'll say that since Matt won, he's going to stretch that lead out just a little bit over Robert.
Yeah, well, with these series now, the Sport Cup and Pro Cup, kind of all about wins right now because it's going to reset when the chase starts. So.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit real quick here before we get off how that's going to, for the fans, how that's going to work out? Because a guy like me, I'm a little confused, I'm used to the old scoring system, so.
Yeah, pretty much where you're at in points doesn't matter. The seeding is going to go by how many wins you have, so whoever has the most wins gets the first seed, and then I think wins are like 3 points or something like that, so it'll kind of seed everybody based on wins. If 6 cars have wins and the last 4 cars don't, then all those 4 will be tied when the chase starts.
So that means Kevin Lewis, even though he hasn't ran these races, he's already got 1 win or 2 wins. Got the road course win. He's in the chase.
Well, you got to be in the top 10 to make the chase.
Yeah, you have to be a top 10 in points, and everyone who's in the top 10 in points at come chase time, then however many wins each of those top 10 guys have will turn into bonus points. Guys with 0 wins will just all be tied behind those guys that do have wins. So yeah, Kevin would still have to get up into the top 10, which obviously with the limited racing he's done probably won't happen, but right now Matt's showing with 4 wins, Robert with 2, and the only other person in the top 10 with a win is Derby Don, so just 3 guys right now with wins in the top 10.
Wow. Well, guys, thanks for
yeah, I think we're gonna be able to
show up, and I think we're doing here.
I think before we go here, Milty, we can refresh the standings here as the points have been updated.
Oh, excellent.
And there we see Matt Watkins now with a 7-point lead over Robert and 20 over Rick Johnson. And again, that was his 4th win, so he's pushing those bonus points up. 12 bonus points compared to 6 for Robert. So there would be a 6-point lead if the chase started today for Matt, which in this type of point racing, 6 points is a lot of points.
So how many races, once the chase starts, we got 10 races, or?
No, I think there's 6. It's a 6-race chase. This is race 11, just completed.
That's a good thing about the chase too, because you can take chances like you did tonight, going for wins, and so main reason I did it.
Awesome.
And the $1.983 million in winnings for Matt Watkins is sure gonna pay a few bills too.
Hey man, I need a new steering wheel. You think you'd loan me a couple $100 or?
And I think Robert said that he needs to hit $3 million just to break even with his team this year. So he's still got some work to do.
Yes, you got to put a lot of money starting your team, but they're doing great, man. I'll tell you, if that was the case, I think I'd be up ahead right now from the way these guys have been running. So I'm pretty happy where we're at right now.
Had a lot more than 3 million with all the series he's leading. Have about 7.
Yeah, and as we look at the upcoming schedule, guys, what are your thoughts on the last 3 races before the chase? California, Original California. Then we got Martinsville 2011, and then Original Texas. What do you think of those 3 tracks? I know, Matt, you really like Texas.
Yep, yeah, I look great, except that little paperclip. I just have to avoid that one.
Yeah, I definitely say my favorite's Texas and Martinsville. I don't care much for Martinsville, but I can race it pretty good, so I'm okay with that.
Could we expect the 81 to show up for Martinsville?
I'll be there from Martinsville, Richmond, definitely.
Yeah, it's another good track for you.
I'm gonna try to make some speedways, so I might run next week. We'll see.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on the original tracks, guys? California and Texas, not the aftermarket kind of tracks.
Much better.
Yeah, I like
better. You got better racing,
tracks.
I think. I think Texas is probably one of your better racing tracks. Texas and Memphis, what the hell am I saying? Texas and Michigan always seem to put on a good show.
Yep.
It seems to do good. I mean, I know a lot of people like to show up for the Talladegas and stuff like that, but to me, I think for those two, it's just as good enough race, and plus you can actually pass and stuff. So it'd be definitely good broadcasts, especially from you guys. You do a hell of a job. Appreciate you taking the time to do it. Y'all don't get paid or nothing. We get the glory of racing, but we appreciate what y'all do.
No problem at all.
Yeah, that's great to be a part of it, man.
Yeah, and like you said, you guys make it easy when you race like that.
It was an awesome show, man. I watch this stuff at work. Even my coworkers check it out on my little cell phone on YouTube. It's quite a deal how far we've come. All the work of Greg Bernardo and of course Jim Ray and
I was gonna say give a shout out to Jim Ray too. He does
absolutely.
This league he's built, and not just that he built the league, but he's got 2 kids too. So at the same time, 2 little ones now, and I got I know all about that.
We will be broadcasting, me and Jim, doing the Indy 500, the entire Indy 500 in its entirety. We'll be in the broadcast booth, so who's going to win the next Indy 500? Stay tuned to FSBRacing.com. That's going to be a show. 212 miles an hour. Get some.
Yeah, if there's any potential sponsors that want to jump on one of the Balco Motorsports cars for that race, they can do it.
All right, guys. Well, appreciate it. Great runs. Congrats, Matt. Big win. It's been a while since you won. I'm sure you were thinking, what's it going to take?
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
I think that dude grabbed the wheel. Let me tell you, those restarts, he was going, man. That guy's a stud.
Thanks a lot, guys, and appreciate it. Good running.
All right, man. See ya.
Great job,
Appreciate
guys.
it. Have a good night, guys.
Later.
Thanks again.